My Gavanin Merlin, and well met indeed. My name is FrozenStag, and welcome to a 2,000 subscriber thank you video, pretty much. I just want to say a massive thank you for this milestone. I woke up this morning after a rather busy day yesterday, and I'll explain that in a minute. I woke up today to the astonishing amount that we hit 2,000, not just 2,000, 2,002 subscribers to really kick it off. And yeah, I'm impressed. I really am. And I knew we were close. I knew we were like 10 away, I think we were. And I thought, oh, it'll be a couple of days, maybe we might hit it. And we already have. So there you go. That's just really great. I am very chuffed. Since the days of 2020, when I only had like 100 subscribers, we have gone up so much since then in the last 4 years. It is great as well. I'm very happy with that. It was also about 2 years ago where we hit about, was it around this point? Where we hit about 1,000 on the 28th of August. Well, nearly 2 years ago today, and 2 years ago from now, we've now hit 2,000, which is great. I'm really happy with that. So there you go. But yes, this video is going to be a quick little video then, just going through some things and celebration stuff that I want to do. But generally, I'm pretty happy with the milestone. I am very chuffed. There was a time on YouTube when I first started out, back in the days where I got hardly, I mean, if you see here, only a couple of subscribers. And it was like that up until about 20, all the way up until then. Because I stopped YouTube around that period there. And then, over like the year or so, a couple of subscribers went up. And then 2019, I came back to it and started really going for it. And about there, I think it was. Yeah, and then we started to really start going up. And also COVID kicked in. That probably helped contribute a lot to the growth of the channel. And then we just kept going up much higher, and we've done very well ever since. And we are keeping going up and going up. And we're not just stopping at 2,000. No, we've got up to 2,002 already. So we're well over the year I was born now. Well, year I was born, 2001. So we're a year above that now, if we're counting years as subscribers, I guess. But yeah, I'm very happy. I'm really happy. Yesterday was a pretty stressful day as we were basically packing up all my ex-girlfriend's stuff, and she's now, well, not officially, but she's basically coming to collect her stuff, and that's it. And that, unfortunately, is the end of our relationship, which was a shame. We were very happy together, but unfortunately, things happen, and sometimes life takes shape in other ways, and different paths turn up, and eventually you have to, the decisions come into the effect of what you want to do in life. Do you want the same things in life? And ultimately we didn't, so unfortunately we had to go our separate ways. Yeah. But yeah, so we basically spent the whole yesterday going through and packing all our stuff and basically moving her out officially. We also have, so yeah, we packed all our stuff up, and I've moved around some stuff in my room. Now, basically returned my room to the way it once was, and to my own room, my own space, my own bedroom. Now I've got my own office room. It's all my own stuff, basically, and I'm rather chuffed with that. I'm also looking to the garden's getting done at some point. We're having the decking redone. My bedroom's eventually going to get the carpet either taken out and new tiling put in, not tiling, but laminate floor put in. Paint is we're going to paint up the room a bit more. Going to put a new bed in. We're going to hopefully spruce up near my bedroom quite well. And then after I've sorted out the bedroom, I'm going to look into the office room and see what I can do. I would like to replace this old desk I've got, because it's a black desk and dust shows up so bloody much. So I might look at possibly getting a new desk at some point and maybe sprucing up the setup in here. I've also made a bit more space for Lego, so if I want to get any more Lego projects, I can do that. So I made up a lot more space now, because she had some Lego as well, so that's all gone now to her possession. And basically, she had a lot of stuff in the space of a year of me living together, and it's a shame. My parents' a shame. It's just generally a sad time, but unfortunately, you know, waking up this morning to seeing that milestone just really made me feel a hell of a lot better. And my reminder that YouTube still, while not being the full-time job, is still a very prominent part of my life, and I will continue to keep going on the channel for as long as I can. And you know, I remember that time when YouTube was, sometimes when I was going through hard times, YouTube was that light at the end of the tunnel where I could come home and just do what I want to do with YouTube and just have some fun and make some videos, have a laugh, and just bring my creation to life, really. And I was very happy with that, because in the last 4 years, much has changed in my life. Many people I've loved have been lost by death or by just the essence of time moving on. Like generally, lots have changed in 4 years, and obviously most lots do. Like that is just life for you. Life is ever moving. It's all changing, and you know it's never going to be the same. No year is going to be the same. And there you go. But yeah, I am very happy with the milestone, and we are going to celebrate it in some other ways. I did contemplate live streaming, and I thought very hard about it, but I thought actually there's some other stuff I want to do instead, actually, because if I do live streaming, it's going to be I'm going to be committed to it for every Saturday. And I'm not going to rule out live streaming. I probably will do it at some point in the future, but for now, I am going to just leave it for now, and maybe come back to it in the future, but for now, I'm going to focus on what I want to do to celebrate this milestone. Something I haven't done yet, I'm going to soon. I was going to do it before this video, but I kind of want to do it. I kind of just sort of, you know what, let's just start the video and I'll talk about it while I'm in. But something I'm going to do now, just also another thing I mentioned is, I didn't show you this one, is obviously we've hit 2,200 views on this Wizarding World series. Again, very surprising. Wizarding World, we've done nothing Harry Potter related on this channel. So the fact that we've actually, you know, something, you know, like this has won the vote is just pretty impressive. And I'm pretty chuffed with that. Sorry, I'm changing my music because I can't seem to find anything now. Yeah, we'll go with that. But yeah, very impressive. I'm very happy with that. I'm also going to go through and clean up my old playlist, delete some old series, to make way for all, I guess, the new stuff that's coming to the channel. I'll talk about how I'm going to celebrate this milestone, but I'll go through the quick changes that I made in the channel. This isn't going to be like a personal announcement video. It's just going to be a quick little celebration video, and then I'm going to go through a few things, and that's literally it. So, where do we begin? So, I'm going to go through the Total War campaigns and clear off a few. I'm going to put the Errand Wife and Athelmore together in one playlist. So that's what I'm going to do. Yep, and then the Erebor campaign, because it wasn't really finished, it's going to make its way into the Casa Doom thing, and eventually I'm going to replay the Casa Doom campaign in the near future at some point. Not yet, probably via a vote, but eventually that will be replayed. Let's go through the view, or I can just go through and cover it in general. That's one playlist, because that's the Denmark and the Kalmar Union, basically the same series. Bolton and Greystark together, that's a separate series, that's fine. Prussia, that's fine. That is a free... basically with that, I'm going to put the campaigns, my Holy Alliance thing with my 3 friends, and the podcast that we did together, I'm going to put that into one playlist. That Britannia series is fine. We've won the game. Like, there's nothing to... I might, you know, if we ever play Britannia, I'll play all the factions again, but other than... Not all the factions, but I'll include one faction... each 5 factions for the vote, apart from Scotland, which would be the Barons Alliance, England, Wales, Norway, and Ireland. Men of the Mountains, I'm open to playing that again. If we do ever play DCI and Men of the Mountains wins the vote again, then I'm open to playing them, but obviously we're playing them a different way. Eredor, despite not finishing that campaign, we did reforge Arnor at the end, and that's good enough for me at the time, so I'm happy with that. Tournament series is fine. Great Britain is a fine little standalone series. I mean, if I ever make a better Great Britain series, then maybe I'll delete it, possibly, but we'll see. But that's Total War campaign, some brief information there. Crusader Kings 2 campaigns then, Celtic Guard's still ongoing, Gaunt's only just beginning. I'm going to put the Aegon, Jon Snow and Targaryen stuff all in one playlist, because some of it wasn't really finished off. I mean, the whole series wasn't finished, unless you count the Jon Snow being as a bookend to that little series, I guess. So that's fine. That I will delete. I'm not going to delete the series. I'm going to delete the playlist and remove it into there. I'm going to put the Mud, the Stark of the East series, which originally was going to be a Stark dynasty, but it wasn't in the end. So I'm going to chuck it into the one playlist, because it is actually. So the Mud Dynasty is actually a successor to the Stark Dynasty. I used the same save file, and that's basically how it works. So I chucked it in with that. I'm going to chuck it in with that soon. Delete your playlist. I'm going to put the Arryn and Targaryen series together, because this was an old one I did ages ago. And this was a fairly old Arryn series. You can tell with the playlist. So I'm going to put the Arryn and the Targaryen thing together, because again, I want to kind of replay the Arryn Dynasty in the future, so I'm going to. Lost and Dane, they're fine as their own. I'm not going to replay them again in the future, so they can stay as their own little playlist. That's fine. Moving down to miscellaneous campaigns then. So I'm going to I'm going to keep these two because it's... I could delete the Skyrim series. It doesn't really have a proper ending. Although at the end of the video, at the end of the series, I did go through and make a message here. And I'm happy to leave up the Skyrim series. Some of these got good views actually, so I'm happy to leave that. So the algorithm must have boosted that for some reason. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave those series as they are. That's fine because they're old. They are old, fairly old campaigns. But they've still got a fair few views, and I think I'm happy to leave them up for you to go back and re-watch now and again. So I'll leave those two up. And now I'm going to go ahead and delete the Hobbit, Dark of the Moon, and War for Sauron series, because I don't think they were very good. With the War for Sauron, we didn't quite end it off properly, because obviously I had an issue with my disc kept screwing me over. So I just ended up just wrapping up as Decepticons campaign, saying, oh, we'll come back and do the Autobots campaign. And that was about 2 years ago, so I probably won't. So I'm going to go back and delete those campaigns. The Hobbit, it was such a... some of the video quality was a bit naff. And also the... what was the other thing that was annoying? For some reason, the OBS, I don't know why, it was before I configured my recording settings. And there were some laggy bits in the recording, so I'm going to redo that at some point in the future. But for now, I'm going to just delete them and get them out of the way, so I don't have to think, oh god, there's a series that I haven't finished. Because I love, I'm staunch for this, but I must at least finish a series entirely. I must at least have some sort of bookend to a series. And also, The Hobbit, Dark of the Moon, Transformers, I didn't do any votes for those series, they just started. Skyrim... slightly different, because Skyrim actually happened because my friends in... Oh, thank you. My friends in college actually told me I should do a Skyrim series, and they were sort of urging me on. And I was like, yeah, go on in, I'll do it. And I'll do it if I hit 100 subscribers, I think it was. And then I'll do it, and I did, so I did that series. And it was alright, but it didn't get many views. But that was at a time when I cared more about views than my own enjoyment of the series. And now with the War in the North series, you'll notice, and Battle on Earth, you'll notice I don't really care. I'm going to go for it anyway. Bannerlord I started literally because I was hyped for Bannerlord because it came out. And I was like, you know what, let's do it. And the first video got a load of views, so like that was just a godsend to start that series off. And the views are good. But the views just suddenly dropped off, like 9 views, 13, like they dropped off hard for some reason. I don't know why. But I never went back to Bannerlord because of the low views in those videos, even though it had, yeah, and it just generally I didn't go back to it. So that was why. But those three I can just get rid of. I'm going to put the Battle on Earth in one big playlist. So the Battle on Earth campaigns. So for those that are so there'll be the good campaigns for the first and second game, the evil campaigns for the first and second game, the Angmar campaign for the second game, and they'll just be put in one big playlist, similar to what Gallo did when he did his Battle on Earth series. So I'm going to stick them into one playlist. I have no reason to go back and replay the old Battle on Earth campaign. Because it was quite enjoyable, even though I did do a bit of cheating, but I think many people understood that the AI got horrendously amount of cheats. And I can't promise you, I can't do it for Battle on Earth 2, so that will never happen for those campaigns. But for the first games, I can't promise you that. I won't. But yeah, they got some decent views, actually. Like most, over 100 views for pretty much every single video. It really started kicking off towards the end as well. Like, Helm's Deep got a lot of views, probably because the name Helm's Deep, just the algorithm just did a miracle for that. But I'll put them all into the one playlist, because why not? And War in the North, that will continue as normal, don't worry. Special playlist, I can't remember did I do anything here? No. Stagcast, that. I probably will move the Holy Alliance into this section, special playlists. But anyone wondering about the Nation Worldbuilding, that probably won't return. That probably won't return. That will still return, but as and when. So when I do when the hot seat ends on my server, then I'll do a video for that. Special videos that I do want to, because that is outdated actually. Because if you look at that, because there's actually because my TV is now where the old monitor is. I can't remember. I still have it. I think I'm going to sell it probably, but yeah, basically my microphone stand is different now. That room has been completely changed since now. Since I did that video in 2023, and a year later everything's changed. And I probably will look to redo a room and setup tour probably not when I hit a milestone, probably for 2025, because next year, well, this year I'm going to do my bedroom up, and then for my For probably next year, I'm going to do up the office room. I'm not quite sure what my main plan is yet, but I would like to get possibly a new... I want to replace my black desk, which I mentioned earlier. Maybe get some new cabinets in. I mean, there's some new displays stuff up now. And just have a bit of a... Maybe just have a look at the carpet and see if that needs redoing. Just have a little look through things and see if anything needs to be changed or anything. But we'll have a look. And poll videos that continue as normal for any like poll videos that I do now and again. Ancient campaigns and projects, I put that into one big playlist, but I won't delete any of those. I'm keeping them up as a, I guess, memorial of all my old content. So if you want to go back and rewatch it, feel free to. But it's there. Then my popular videos have a little category here because I can scroll down and have a little look at what's doing well and staying still. Good God. 4 years ago, I never thought that video would get that amount of views. That is insane. Like 77,000 views on an installation guide. That's ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. That is crazy. And I mean, I could go back and do installation guides now, and that would get me easy views and easy subscribers. But I'm not bothered with the installation guides and overviews, to be honest. Maybe I might do in the future, but I'm not really fussed. I'm going to quickly change the music 1 second because I'm kind of bored of this music. I want to listen to something different. Let's just get H. Von Ziegler out of it. Yeah, that'll do. If I go back here. Yeah, that'll do. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep that as like a timeline, but popular videos, yeah. I mean, I could do installation guides and overviews, but I just don't really want to, so I'm not going to. There you go, there's my reasoning. Excuse me. So on to the next stage of today's video. As celebration for the milestone. Oh, excuse me. That's part of the thing I'm about to mention in a minute. Is I had a big breakfast to celebrate my... I went with my family, went and had a nice breakfast and had a celebration for, well, partly because I'm now single and partly because I've hit 2,000 subscribers and with the first time where our life is... We're sort of regain and retaking our lives back. And so, yeah. So, yeah, I got a massive breakfast. Black pudding, which I won't tell you what made out of that, because that'll make you vomit. Mushrooms, which I did actually give to my mum, because I'm not really a fan of mushrooms. There was maybe tomatoes there, but I can't remember. My dad might have taken them, possibly, because I'm not really fussed on cooked tomatoes or mushrooms. Some mushrooms are okay, but cooked, I'm just not a fan of cooked tomatoes. I love tomatoes if they're, like, not cooked, they'll be fine. But if they are cooked, good God, no. Get them away from me. But I had, like, 3 bacon, 2 sausages, 2 hash browns, beans, and 2 eggs. I am full. And it doesn't get more British than this, indeed. So yeah, that was my celebration. And before we go on any further, I want to say we are going to start a new Battle for Middle-earth. It's going to continue. So I'm going to do a Battle for Middle-earth on Saturdays as basically a thank you for 2,000 subscribers. And after then, as it reads, I'm going to do a new Total War campaign, which we once the Battle for Middle-earth campaigns wrap up. Unlike how I played the Battle for Middle-earth 2 campaign, where I did like 2 missions for the first episode and 1 mission for each episode, I'm just gonna do 1 episode for an hour or so. I'm gonna do each episode gonna be about an hour long. If it's a couple missions in the hour, then so be it. Then it is, I guess, but but I'm not too fussed. I'm gonna try and finish with the Battle for Middle-earth campaign. I'm not gonna rush through it, but I'm gonna take my time and just complete it. Now, the evil and Angmar campaigns won't take long at all, but the good campaign may take a bit longer, and if it does, it does, but then so be it. That's a decent series. And after then I will do a Saturday Total War campaign that will kick off then. Apologies, I know some were looking forward to the live stream, I'm sure, but I just couldn't really commit to live streams. I still need to get there's loads of stuff that I need to buy for streaming, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to wait. I'm not worried right now. I want to complete the Battle for Middle-earth campaign, and I can bookend that little saga, and then I can replace it with Total War campaign, and go from there, pretty much. So what I'm going to do, so this is going to be a poll, this will go up the same time as this video, hopefully. I mean, probably not, because YouTube's going to take ages to render this and upload it. So what I probably will do is this will go up at 3 o'clock, but this video will go up probably afterwards. And if it's a bit later, it's a bit later. It's not the end of the world. I'm not too fussed. So yes, Battle for Middle-earth will take place. I will play all these campaigns, but this poll is mainly like what order do you want me to play them in? So do you want me to start with the Evil campaign first, or Battle for Manila 2, the Angmar campaign for BF Me 2, or the BF Me 1 Good campaign? So your choice. All of which are pretty fun. Angmar campaign is good fun. Good campaign is good fun. You join the Fellowship and whatnot, and Gondor and Rohan. So you fight against Mordor and Isengard. The Evil campaign, you fight as the goblins and Mordor and Nazgul and whatnot, and you just take over the North pretty much. So there you go. So that will happen. The first episode of that will release on the 7th of September, which is next Saturday, of course. So that will go up today. And then we move on to the culmination, I suppose, of the... Let me just jump out of this a minute. Let's go... Let's just go to publish, and down we go. So, I did a... As you may recall, I did a Westeros Total War mod scenario votes over the last few days. 4 days. Also, for those interested in my Cannes campaign, which hopefully should start Tuesday, providing everything goes according to plan. Tuesday, the Cannes campaign should kick off, in theory. If not, it's just been the week after, but hopefully it will. They will be going the Blue Wizard choice, which is good fun. But I've been doing some votes lately, going through the Westeros Total War mod scenarios, and now I've narrowed down the highest voted option from each one, and I've stuck them into one last poll, although this was quite a close one actually, but Rhaegar's Vengeance did win eventually. So I'm going to put, even though this one's only been up that long, but it's pretty clear they're going to win, so I'm going to chuck them in to the poll. I will briefly talk to you about a bit about the information about some of the options, and then that's it. That's all I'm going to go on for. Actually, no, I won't do that yet. I'll come back to that. I've scheduled these videos at the moment for a day after the other. So there will be a poll running every day at 3 o'clock for me anyway, a day after each other. But I don't know if it will be in this particular order, because once this goes up for a day or so, I want to do the factions vote for whatever wins out of this lot. So, and that could be one poll, that could be a several. We'll see. Depends which option wins. If it's Petty Kings, it will be a while because there's a lot of factions in that. If it's It Takes 5 to Tango, it's like 5 factions. So that'll be like a quick poll over and done with. The series will start probably soon after. But I won't go into detail about it just yet. I will I'll come back to that. And now it is time to discuss. I'm going to do the poll now, because if I wait, I may as well just do the poll now. It gets over and done with. So I'm going to do the poll for what replaces the Battle for Earth 2 campaign. Earlier, I suppose. I mean, if one of these series wraps up, like War in the North finishes before this, then maybe I might possibly move Battle for Earth to Fridays and then bring the Total War campaign to you quicker. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not quite sure how long War in the North is yet, so we're finding out, I guess, as we go. But I'll go for the options then briefly. No, I won't go for them entirely, but I'll just go through and show you the different polls. We got for King of Country, we've got this one here. So the highest, so similar to the Westeros one, the highest voted option will go into a final poll, which will then be similar to what this looks like. It will be basically a final mod / scenario, or final mod / game, and then that will kick off there, and then be other polls afterwards. So that's one that says 5. So that way we can do. We have 5 polls. And then there'll be one option from each of those polls will go to a final. Because if I do 6, then I'd have to do like a semi-finals and then a final, and then it just gets a bit complicated. So these are the ones I've done so far. I'll go through and talk about them in a second. Some of you know what they are, some of you might not, but I'll discuss them in a moment. And because Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Redemption is happening soon. If I go to the published a minute, I'll show you what I mean. But Red Dead Redemption 1, of course, the vote. Where is it? Here, yep. So they won the vote here. Hogwarts Legacy was close, but not close enough. But not really close at all, were they? They were getting there, but they just couldn't do it. Red Dead Redemption 1, and so that's going to happen. I may as well delete this now, because I'm not doing any of those. I did contemplate the idea of doing different video ideas, but I just want to do campaigns. This channel, unfortunately, is literally... It is more campaign related, and I know that is nowadays in YouTube that's a stupid thing to do, because campaigns get hardly any views and whatnot. And I know that because I know what I'm doing. Damn it! And And I know that's not the meta of YouTube, but again, I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm doing it for fun at the end of the day. This is not a career. I'm not making a job out of this. If I was making a career, you'd have clickbait thumbnails, clickbait everything. I know how to make this a career if I wanted to, and I don't want to, because I just don't. I don't see YouTube as a very good career. Yes, it makes money now and again, but it just isn't a lot to really do a lot. So, you know, it's not a career. You have to get millions of views and a lot more subscribers than what I have now to really get anywhere. So yeah. But anyway, yes. So the Red Dead Redemption one anyway. So that is going to be happening. I don't know when this poll's to go up. Some point, might be the 8th. It might be later on. It might be earlier. I'm not too sure yet. We'll see how we go. But Red Dead Redemption games will happen. I'm going to play through them all. But I'm doing a poll just to give you an idea of what you want to see first. So do you want me to see Red Dead Redemption 2 first? Do you want me to see Red Dead Redemption 1? Or do you want to see the Undead Nightmare first? Just a quick little information on what I'm playing these on. So Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be on the PC. Because I recently brought it a while back. Actually, when did I buy it for PC? I can tell you. Also, people that send me friend requests. But I appreciate people might want to be my friend on Steam. I kind of prefer it to be people that I kind of know, but you know, if you're cool and you're if you're cool, that sounds a bit weird. But if you're maybe I might go through and just accept you. But I'm not going to be the type of guy that is on Steam playing games all the time. Also, just a quick one on multiplayer content because I've spoken about it in my personal announcement, and I also know that I do want to do game events on my Discord. So I do want to do that. I will probably record it, but it will just go up at random times. Not random times, but it'll go random days. So days where I don't have any record, or I will upload that stuff instead. Basically, is the idea. When did I buy it? It doesn't tell me. Actually, if I go back to... If I view DLC install... Oh no, wrong thing. Should tell me. Ah yeah, November 26, 2022. I brought that. So that's cool. So Red Dead Redemption 2 will be on the PC. It's going to be modded. I'm going to go through some modding and go on to the Nexus page and see what we can do if they win. But that should be good fun. I've played Red Dead Redemption 2 a lot. It's one of my favourite games out there. So I wanted this time, for my next campaign and experience, I want it to be with mods. So there you go. Suggestions for mods are welcome. I have no idea. I've never modded Red Dead Redemption 2 before, so it's completely out of my... Closest I've done, I guess, I've modded GTA 5 before. A long time ago, like 2015. About my GTA 5 adventures, like, that was ages ago. I have modded it for PC, for GTA, but not Red Dead 2. That's completely out of my depth, so I have no idea. Red Dead Redemption 1 then will be played on the Xbox Series X, same as Undead Nightmare, because that's why I have both of them on. It will be on the Xbox Series X, which is interesting, because I have played Red Dead Redemption 1 before, but I'm pretty sure I played it on the Xbox One, so that was a long time ago. So I played on the Xbox One, but this time I can play it on the Series X, which won't be much difference. I mean, the loading screens will be a bit quicker, obviously, that's like the only thing. Maybe some things might be improved, but generally that's it. And now we go down to the Total War votes that we're doing. So it's similar vein to the Westeros thing, and polls we've done before. I'm putting a list in, say for example, if certain one of the option wins. There might be a sub-vote, there might be error votes, like, say, for example, Rome 1, like, you want me to play the Grand campaign, the Alexander campaign, the Barbarian Invasion campaign, and stuff like that, and then eventually there'll be a faction vote for all the different factions in there. So, yeah. And for most things, I'm kind of open to playing as every single faction, or any faction, really. Unless for Dak, if Dak wins this again, good God. If Dak, I'll give you the option because it's the... subscriber special, so that's why. But if Dak wins, then obviously I'm going to play as factions that are not canned. Or anyone that's kind of too close to canned for comfort, maybe. That's the only thing. So let's go for them. So for the first one then, the first poll, I suppose, you have the choice of 5 options. So I'll go talk through these briefly, as brief as I can. And then what I will do is just quickly give you a brief summary of what the mod is. I'm not going to go into my history of the mod or what I think of it, or my opinion, or what it's about, or what this does, and what that does, and what I think of this faction. I don't care. Well, I do care, but I'm not going to discuss it for an option that may or may not even win the vote, so I'm not going to do it. I'll give you a brief summary, tell you what the next poll might be if they do win, and that's it. So I guess we'll start at the very bottom and go work our way up. So the first option is Sengoku Total War. Sengoku Total War is a Japanese total conversion mod for Medieval 2. And it's basically set, I think, in the Sengoku period. I'm not quite sure what that period's about. I don't know if it's the same period as the Grand Campaign from Shogun 2. Not quite sure, but essentially it just brings the world of samurais and Japanese history to Medieval 2, which is quite cool. So for those that don't want to play Shogun 2, or rather play Shogun 2 but on the Medieval 2 engine, then you can. So it's pretty cool. If Sengoku Total War wins the vote, what will happen, I will do a faction vote straight away for all the different clans that you can play as, which is pretty cool. Going up from then is Stainless Steel 6.4. When I think of a Medieval 2 remaster or a better version of Medieval 2 Total War, I think of Stainless Steel. Nothing it can be any better than Stainless Steel for me, I'm afraid. The remaster just doesn't interest me, but that's the same thing for Rome 1. The remaster just does not interest me in the slightest. I think the UI is just rubbish. I think the quality of the game is just cheap. I think the graphics are absolute, just too arcadey. And it just doesn't interest me in the slightest, and I'm not bothered. So, I can tell you straight away that a Medieval 2 remaster would not be of any interest to me. What I would prefer from Rome 1 and Medieval 2, or Medieval and Rome, just do a Rome 3 or a Medieval 3. Just make a game. Don't bother remastering it or going back in time, because that's just a waste of time. Just go forwards and make a proper game. Make a Medieval 3. Make a Rome 3. Just do that. Don't go back and remaster and do all that stuff. I mean, Rome 2 probably does that already. But Medieval 3, come on. It's a no-brainer at this point. It will make a lot of money for Creative Assembly. They don't quite understand that if they make a Medieval 3, it will make you an absolutely tremendous amount of money. I'm sure they must know this. I'm sure CA must know this. But they just haven't. I don't know why. But maybe it's because they can't. Maybe it's because they can't find a way to make it profitable for them. Possibly. Anyway, I won't go into detail about that. But Stainless Steel 6.4 is a really good mod. It's basically a medieval conversion mod for Medieval 2. You've got two different eras, and that's where I'll do the next poll for, between the late era, which is 1220 AD, I believe, and the early era, which is 1100 AD. So 40 years. Well. No, 34 years after the Battle of Hastings and the crowning of the King William the Conqueror. So there you go. That's staying still, and then there'll be a faction vote for one of those eras, whichever wins. Next is Rome 1 Total War. Rome 1 is, of course, well, this is a game now. We've moved on to games. Game for, obviously, taking period around the sort of 200 to 300 BC time periods in Europe and North Africa and sort of Eastern, I guess, far Western Asia, I suppose. And Rome 1 Total War is focused on that. I will probably use a Dark mod without a Second Without or any other conversion mod. Actually, I won't go into detail about that. So any conversion mod or anything, I will just use my own disgrace, my own leisure, I suppose. Let's move on to some more music. Yeah, anyway, that's fine. So yeah, Rome 1 Total War. There's also a few other expansions, and that's where I will do my next poll. If they win, I will include Rome 1 Total War, the Grand Campaign, the Barbarian Invasion, the Alexander Campaign, which would just be one faction, which would just be us playing as Alexander, of course. And I also will include some of the other conversion mods for Rome 1, such as Star Wars Total War, Narnia Total War, Fourth Age Total War, Lord of the Rings Total War, is it Lycan Rising Total War, I think? That's one. And any others I can think of to chuck in with that, I will. But there you go. Next is Call of Warhammer, which is a conversion mod for Medieval 2 Total War, focused on the Warhammer universe, but in the engine of Medieval 2, and with lots of different changes, and less expensive. So Call of Warhammer is set in then. For some reason, I don't quite know why this is the case, or why I have this version. But a long time ago, I have to go back to the... Well, I'm just going to quickly... it doesn't take me very long at all. There's Katie's stuff that I need to still email her. If we go to... This is how easy it is to find me able to follow, for those wondering. It's very easy for me, because I mod all the time. So, for some reason, I have two versions of Before the End Times. I have Before the End Times, and I also have Before the End Times AC. I'm not quite sure what the hell this is, but I have this version for some reason. So there you go. I don't know why, but there you go. I have two versions of Before the End Times, so I might do a poll between those two different versions of the game for you all, and then that'll be what happens. And then after then, there'll be a faction vote, of course. Also, for the faction vote, for all mods and factions, there will be a limit of 25 factions. So I need to limit, if it's got like 28, I need to knock off 3 maybe, and just limit it down to those 25. So that way it fits in the poll bracket, unless YouTube kindly releases the limit on the polls, but they don't, so there you go. And the next one then is for King or Country. This is the English Civil War mod for Medieval 2 Total War, and you have 2 factions to choose from, so it's pretty basic. It's focused entirely upon England, Wales, parts of Ireland, and the southern bit of Scotland. So that's for King or Country. You have 2 factions to choose from, the Parliamentarians and the Royalists. And yes, you guessed it, that will be the faction vote. It will just be those 2. So very, very simple. If they win, you'll get 2 factions to choose from, and that's it, basically. So for King or Country, then moving on to the second poll. So again, all these will be released a day after the other, so you have a bit of time for each option to vote. And after then, it will go on to the next section. Moving up then, you have Total War Saga Troy. Now, you may recall, as you just saw earlier, I had played Total War Saga Troy, Paris of Troy, many years ago. A long time ago that was, when it first came out, because I thought, oh, it's released for free. I'll give it a go, see how I feel, and record, see if I make a series out of it. And I didn't really enjoy myself that much, but Saga Troy has changed a lot since 4 years ago. They've got a Mythos like DLC now. They've got like a normal version of the game when it was released, a historical version of Troy. So there's a lot of different eras that have like scenarios that they put into the game to make it a little bit unique. And that's what I will do. If they win, I will do a poll between those 3 different eras and options. Although, to be honest, I may skip over that and just jump into the Mythos one, because that sounds really fun. And just play as the Mythos version of Troy, and then just do a faction vote between the different heroes. Well, not really faction vote, hero vote, I suppose, or I guess faction vote, yeah. And next you have Broken Crescent. So Broken Crescent is a conversion mod for Medieval 2. It's a mod that focuses on the Crusades, the Kingdom of Jerusalem during the Crusades period. I can't remember what Crusades, the Third Crusade, I think, possibly. And it also expands the map a great deal, expands over to India, expands it to northern, like south of Kazakhstan and that sort of area. So that's pretty cool. So that's Broken Crescent, a pretty cool mod. You have a bit of Turkey in there. You got lots of like bits of like Eastern Greece, I think. It's pretty cool. It's a very cool mod. It's my go-to Crusades experience. A friend of mine, Idrin, actually played the Broken Crescent, or well, Mythic as he's known by now. He doesn't do Total Wars content now, I'm afraid, but he did do a Let's Play in it, and it looked pretty fun. Next, Insularis Draco, which is a new mod centered upon the Dark Ages in Britannia. And also parts of Europe as well, centered around the area, around Britannia, so bits of Denmark, Norway, France, northern France, and Germany. So that's Insularis Draco, a mod centered in the Dark Ages, and obviously for Medieval 2 Total War. It's a pretty cool mod. If that wins, a faction vote will take place, and the same for Broken Crescent, because there's no like eras or anything like that. And next is Medieval 2 Total War. So what the hell does this mean? You've already given me various options for Medieval 2 Total War, and yes, I have. But this option in particular for Medieval 2 Total War is going to be number 1 for the Grand Campaign, but not just the Grand Campaign, but for the Custom Campaign Mod 2 mod, which adds the Timurids, Mongols, Aztecs as playable factions and does a few improvements to make them properly playable and engaging. So that I will include. And also, rather than jumping straight into a faction vote, it will be an era vote. So I'll get you guys to vote for the Grand Campaign itself. There's a few like Peninsula campaigns we can do. I'll get you to vote for the Kingdoms expansion, so Britannia, Americas, Crusades, and Teutonic, and maybe some other like Medieval 2 Total War centered Peninsula ones, or the Tyronia campaign, stuff like that. So all in the Custom Campaign Mod 2, and any other mods that I can think of that would be pretty good to go along with them. And next is Elder Scrolls Total War. I didn't really explain what Medieval 2 was, but I mean, that's stupid, isn't it, really? But Medieval 2 is a conversion, well, it's not a conversion mod, it's a game for, why am I even saying this? You all know what this is. It's a game centered in 1080 AD in the medieval period. So there you go. Next is Elder Scrolls Total War. So Elder Scrolls Total War is a conversion mod for the Elder Scrolls universe into the world of Medieval 2 Total War's engine, and has, I think there's a sub-mod called the Unofficial Patch, and my friend Jadley, who is, of course, I can't really say that when I'm with Sol, can I? But we have a sort of we are, I would say, we're friends. We're both counsellors on the hot seating community, so we both get along, and he's helped me a lot with his with the 4th era hot seat we did recently, so that was good. So yeah, Elder Scrolls Total War. So what will probably happen? There is the unofficial patch, so I might possibly include an option to vote for that as well. But if it's just Elder Scrolls Total War, it'll just be the option between the 3rd and 4th era, so you can vote between those two. Moving on then, Rome 2 Total War. So I keep saying conversion mod. Rome 2 Total War is a game basically the sequel to Rome 1, although of course it's centered around the same time period, just updated and more stuff in it. Rome 2 got a shoddy release on launch, but since now it has become a lot better. If Rome 2 wins the vote, I will do a poll between the Grand Campaign, Empire Divided, Wrath of Sparta, Rise of the Republic. If you play the Divided Emperor, the Peloponnesian Wars is a scenario that is unlocked for you in that mod. You've got Caesar and Gaul, you've got Hannibal at the Gates, and some other stuff as well. Am I missing one? Hannibal at the Gates. Oh, Imperator Augustus as well. And also there's a lot of different mods as well, so I'll include them into one big poll between Rome 2 Total War options if they win. Next in is Attila Total War, which is of course the sequel to Rome 2. Well, sort of sequel, I guess. It's centered around the fall of Rome. So around the same time as the barbarian invasion for the DLC for Rome 1 is centered around then, with the return of Attila the Hun and the fall and fracture of the Roman empires. Well, one's been split into the west and east. So it's centered around that time period. So that's pretty cool. Attila Total War is so basically there's a lot of different campaigns. You've got the Grand Campaign. You've also got a few different campaigns. The Last Roman. So the Last Roman being when Justinian sent Belisarius to retake the Western Roman Empire, and that's his journey and his sort of journey west. But you can play as the other barbarian states in the area, like the Visigoths, the Ostrogoths, the Vandal Kingdom, and the Franks as well. So that's pretty cool. And also some mods I think exist to make the Roman Empire in the East actually playable as well. And also got the Age of Charlemagne. You got a few other the 12 Kingdoms, is a pretty popular mod for Attila. You've got the Dark Ages. You've got the Rise of Islam. Is it Rise of Islam or Dark Ages? I'm not quite sure. Rise of Islam, I think. You've also got the Long Night mod, which is a fantasy mod for Attila, and there's various other things being. I mean, Dawnless Days is being worked on, but that's not out yet, so I've got a while to wait for that to come out. But that's an option, obviously. I did speak to Izzy for that. As your knowledge, actually, Izzy and I actually spoke about the co-op campaign for Dawnless Days when that releases in the future for co-op series when the campaign comes out. Next is Last Kingdom. So this is not a Last Kingdom bespoke Medieval 2 mod for the Last Kingdom TV series, although Last Kingdom TV series is absolutely fantastic. It's the mod focused around the Viking era for Medieval 2 Total War. It is a really good mod, I must say. I know I said I wouldn't go into detail, but it is a really good mod. And Last Kingdom is focused entirely upon all the 3 o'clock, the other poll would have gone live by now. And Last Kingdom is a mod focused around the Viking invasion of Britain in the 867 AD, I want to say. Around the late 800s. Where the Vikings start to invade, and the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms are fighting them off and fighting to also against each other to try and take over and become the ruling king of England. And also you also got the Irish kingdoms, the Welsh kingdoms, or no, Welsh Principality. I have RP correcting me. And also you got the Kingdom of Alba at the time as well, and you also got the Normans as well. And you can also, and a cool little thing for that is the Normans, you can choose actually to go over Catholic, or you can go stick with the pagan ways, which is quite cool. So if Last Kingdom wins, there will be a vote for the faction vote. Will kick off straight away. There's also another one called Wrath of the Norsemen, which I might possibly include. I might include the factions from Wrath of Norsemen that are different, or Wrath of, is it Norsemen or Northmen? I'm not quite sure. whatever it's called. I might include the faction, so if you want me to play as a different thing, then I can. But I think the Wrath of the Norseman makes the game. It's an alright sub mod, but it just makes Last Kingdom look really unclean, I suppose, as a friend of mine once said. Who still is the lead developer of Lucium Total War. I didn't include Lucium because obviously Lucium is still getting its 3.0 update, no 3.5 update. So I'm going to wait for that to done. Steam is still I did think about, but again I can't include them all. I can only include 25, so there's my limit. So Last Kingdom. Now on to Napoleon Total War, which is I guess the unofficial successor to. Oh, it's not here, is it? Is it higher up actually? Yeah, it's I forgot for a second. I forgot to include them, but no, it's there. It's Warhammer 2 Total War. Sorry, no. What am I on about? Napoleon Total War, sequel to Empire, pretty much. And that is, of course, focused around the Napoleonic Wars. You've got 3 different campaigns, unless you count 2 for the Darth Maul expansion, which I think still works. So I did have issues with it a while back when I was testing it for historical campaigns, for when I did the Empire campaign ages ago. So you've got the Napoleon campaign, where you play as Napoleon and go to Austria, fighting against Austria and Italy. In the Italy campaign, you go to Egypt. You also go to Europe and do the normal France campaign. And you go from there pretty much. So yeah. You go from there, then you play as Napoleon in the normal campaign. It's basically a normal France campaign. Then you got the Peninsula campaign, where you play in Spain. And a enlarged map of Spain, where you play as either France, Spain, or Britain. I think Portugal's possible, but I think you have to, as a model, I think, for that. It locks them, I think. And then there's also the Coalition campaign, where you play as the coalition of Britain, Great Britain, Prussia, Austria, and Russia. And you've also, I think, for Darth Maul, I think you've also got the My Nation Revenge as well. Also, Great War mod, we'll chuck that in as well. If Darth Maul still works, you have the Austria and the Italy and Egypt campaigns. They can be played. You can play as the other factions in them in the normal campaign, which is pretty cool. So Napoleon Total War then. And then next is Warhammer 2. I've always been interested in Warhammer. Warhammer, of course, is a game for the fantasy universe Warhammer. A rival with the Before the End Times, I'm sure. Warhammer 2 has 2 bespoke campaigns, and that is the Vortex campaign and the Mortal Empires. I'm not including any games that I have to pay for, because I have a lot of games that is at the moment, so I kind of just want to play through them. And then if I need to, then I'll buy games. But for now, I have like a million different games. I don't need more. I'm happy to spend time going through the games I want to. And then if I want to buy, if people like, I mean, someone might give me a game, I guess, and then I'll play it. But maybe we're looking to playing games. But I'm trying not to buy too many, because I already have loads of games I still want to play with the channel. And that'll keep me busy, I think. So we'll do like a little poll for that. And then I'll do a faction vote after Warhammer, after the Vortex or Mortal Empires wins, whichever one. And then moving up there to Thrones of Britannia, which is basically Last Kingdom's rival as well. The Thrones of Britannia was made for the Viking era in Britain, although in this, it's literally just the British Isles and a very big map of the British Isles, I think. So that's Thrones of Britannia. It's focused around that period in the Viking era, and it's basically its own game as opposed to being a mod for Medieval 2. I still personally think Last Kingdom's better. But Thrones of Britannia, I thought I'd give you the option anyway. Next, which this option did almost win the vote for the Westeros Total War 1, but Westeros won. DSI almost actually beat them. And they came like second place, so that was interesting. DSI Last Alliance, which may well be a very popular mod at the moment with the release of Rings of Power Season 2, which I must say, I am actually enjoying Rings of Power Season 2, so please don't smite me. But I'm enjoying it for what it is. But generally, I've enjoyed the first 3 episodes that have been uploaded to Amazon Prime. I'm looking forward to the next episode. So DCL Last Alliance is a conversion mod for Third Age Total War, well, Medieval 2, and Third Age Total War, I guess, because Third Age is used as a base. And they turn it into the Second Age in Middle-earth for DCI Last Alliance, which is pretty cool. Very cool mod. I played as Man of the Mountains before, as you saw earlier, so I have a bit of insight knowledge on that. Next is Third Age Total War. So this could be the Third Age Total War 4.8 mod, or it might be normal Third Age. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see. Probably 4.8. But I may, if it's 4.8, I may have I kind of just want to play as the one faction, which is the Oricani Dwarfs. Whether or not we'll play as anyone else, I don't quite know. I don't know really yet. But if they win, then we'll work it out, I guess. But Likely it'll be the Oricani Dwarfs, which will just happen straight away if they win the vote. So there you go. Third Age Total War is a conversion mod for obviously for the Third Age in Middle Earth, of course, for Lord of the Rings. And there's multiple different conversion mods. DAC is the big main one, which is its own mod by now. May as well be. And Third Age, well, DAC is standalone, but Third Age is the old Third Age mod. But Leo, I think, has carried on the work in his version of 4.0 for Third Age, which I recall, as you may have seen earlier. I had played the Dwarfs in that, back when the Dwarfs were one nation. They've actually now been split into two now, but that's happened. Well, you had the Oricani as well, but that's different. But yeah, if they win, the Oricani probably will happen, unless I can think of another faction I'd rather play, but probably the Oricani Dwarfs. So if you're interested in the Oricani Dwarfs, then that's the option for you to vote for. And moving on then is Fira Redux, which is a mod, well, there used to be a mod called Fira Legacy of the Grand Tournament, I believe. But this is like the improved version of it. And Fira Redux adds in lots of different races, cultures, all sorts of peoples into a massive map of basically some of them are islands, some of them are on their own. And it chucks in lots of different cultures. You've got knights, you've got pirates, you've got Aztecs, you've got orcs, you've got Vikings, you've got all sorts of people all in one big world together. You've got the Chinese, you've got Chinese sort of shogunate factions, you've got the Romans, like it's absolutely nuts. The Gaelic tribes and whatnot, the Celts. I mean, it's literally. I think vampires are there as well. It's very much nuts. It's how to describe that mod, and that's Fira Redux for you basically. It's a very cool mod, and if they win the vote, it would be a faction vote for that straight away. Third Age Total War again. If there's a faction vote, I might be a faction vote, or it might just be the start of a new campaign. Not quite sure yet. TCI Last Alliance, there'll be a faction vote straight away, and same with Friends of Britannia. Next then is Shogun 2 Total War. Shogun 2 is, of course, a game made to show off the shogunate period in Japan in the 1500s. I can't remember the name of the war, unfortunately, but so I'm going to call it the shogunate at the moment, which is probably wrong. I'll probably have the Japanese audience frothing in the mouth that I've got that wrong. Anyway, I just don't remember it. But Shogun 2 Total War brings in the 1500s Japanese, Japanese, the 1500s period. I can't remember the name of the damn Civil War. What the hell is it called? Civil War of Japan, and that's how you spell Japan. 1500 and something. What is it called? Sengoku. Ah, there we go. That's it. Which is also the same as the other Medieval 2 mod as well. So yeah. So that brings in that. Shogun 2 Total War brings in that period, Sengoku period, and I thought it was Shungoku. I thought that was too on the nose, but so that brings in that period of Japanese history to Total War. Also, there's a few other campaigns and mods as well. You've got the Rise of the Samurai in the 1100s. You've got the Fall of the Samurai in the 1860s. And you've also got Last Alliance Total War, which is a Shogun 2 mod. And I think possibly there's a few other Shogun 2 mods, but I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a few. That's Shogun 2. There'll be a poll between the different scenarios we can play through mods, and then we go from there. And next is Empire Total War. Empire Total War, of course, we have played recently with Great Britain. Didn't have a great time playing it though, but I'm eager to play it again if they do win. And if they do win, I'm going to put a bit more heart into it. So there you go. With Empire, there's a couple of different scenarios. You've got the Road to Independence campaign. You've got the Warpath campaign where you play as the natives. You've got the early campaign where you play as the, we play in the year 1700. You've got the later campaign where you play in the 1783. And you've got another campaign called Uprising where you play in North America, but you play as the different, you can play as the colonial powers or you can play as the natives. And basically the natives and the colonials, they're all allied into, the natives are allied into one faction, and the colonials are allied into one other faction, and they have to fight it out for control over North America. It's the basic idea, basic premise of that. Next is Three Kingdoms Total War, which is, I heard rumor of Three Kingdoms was getting a second game, I think, but I haven't heard a bit more about that. But Three Kingdoms brings us into the Warring States period in Chinese history. I do love Japanese history, I do love Chinese history too. I find Asian history quite interesting. Not as much as my love of medieval history in Europe and whatnot, but I still think they're quite interesting periods, and I'd love to explore more of them. But Three Kingdoms Total War has many different scenarios. There's the normal Grand Campaign, there's the Yellow Turban Rebellion, and there's a few others I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. But I'll do a poll between those options, and then there'll be a faction vote for that eventually. Next is Expanded Americas, which is a mod that brings in North America into the year 1350, into the medieval period. So it's quite an interesting scenario. It basically adds a lot of kingdoms factions, so Ireland, the Teutonic Order, Lithuania, the Mongols turn up, I think it's via an event, the Principality of Antioch and the Kingdom of Jerusalem show up as via events. There's also the Apaches in America, you got the Incas, you got the Aztecs, there's a few others, Norway as well as a faction as well, so that's quite cool. I can't remember Russia's split into two. Oh, I think it might be, yeah. So Novgorod and I think... I'm sure the Russians are split. There's Kiev and Rus, and I think there's also... Is it Novgorod on its own, I think? I can't remember if they like use Novgorod as a reskin, I'm not quite sure. But then they're there as well. So there'll be a faction vote for that straight away. And then move on to the last two, and that is more DAC and more Westeros. So if you want to see more DAC and Westeros, then you have to vote for them. If the more divide and conquer option wins, then I will do a poll, but it won't be any factions that are nearby to Canned. So if they're near to Canned, I probably will try and not do them because it's too close to Canned. However, we are playing Canned as good, so I mean, there's nothing stopping me from putting, I guess, the factions the same together because you know we'd still be fighting against Canned. But then I guess we might be fighting Mordor, so I don't know. I will try if they do win. I will try and make it so they're not too close to Canned and there's something different going on. Or that we are the evil faction in the era, not like Gondor, for example, who could be fighting against Mordor, who we already are as Canned in the other campaign, so I won't do that. More Westeros Total War. So what will happen here? So if Westeros Total War wins again, then I won't do a massive poll for what I did last time. I will just take the second most voted option out of these five options here, and I would just make a campaign on that. So there'll be a faction vote for, say for example, It Takes 5 to Tango wins the vote here, and then Rhaegar's Vengeance comes second. Then there'll be another campaign on that mod, and there'll be a faction vote for that eventually. Although the only thing I will do is, say for example, if the Lannisters win in that It Takes 5 to Tango scenario, that I won't include the Lannisters for the Rhaegar's Vengeance, so we don't play the same faction. Unless particularly that faction is entirely different, but I don't think so. But anyway, that's all for now. We can't wait to the hour mark, so I'll wrap this up here. I hope you have all enjoyed today's video, and it's been a bit of a brief discussion video. We've got new stuff coming. We'll see what Battle of Earth's doing on the poll while we're here. Oh no, I'm still in the published thing. How are they doing? Let's have a look. Oh, the good campaign's already in the lead so far, but Angmar is only one vote behind, so that could soon change. So interesting. But I wouldn't be surprised if the good campaign do win, because they are indeed popular. So yeah, I hope you are looking forward to new campaigns and new polls and new stuff coming soon. Hopefully this doesn't take too long to render. I'm on the browser, shouldn't take too long at all. We've got a new Westeros campaign coming soon, so there'll be a faction vote for one of these when they win. We have the new Total War campaign coming out soon. That'll be on Saturdays. I may even do Red Dead Redemption actually on what day is that? The 3rd. Yeah, I will actually, because then that way we can get the Red Dead series started a bit quicker. So yeah, I'll do that for the 2nd, and then the 3rd can be the Westeros Total War one. Actually, no, nonsense. No, that can go up tomorrow, because actually I want that to be... Oh, does it really matter? Yeah, actually, no, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. No, it does, yeah. Because I want to be able to put this up and do a faction vote the day after, so I need a day, at least another day to just give it some time. So I'm going to... Actually, yeah, I will put the Red Dead for the 3rd. Let me just do this. Now you'd have to wait till like the bloody 8th for that. And then I'll just move them up to the 4th pretty much. There we go. Move up to the 5th. And you can go up to the 6th. Hopefully I'm doing it wrong and I get wrong. He's not loading at the same time. But if they do, they do. It's not the end of the world, I guess. But I'd rather not, because the algorithm doesn't really boost your polls very well if you post them like too soon after the other. Also, I've noticed I've noticed before, so hopefully should be alright. But yeah, it will take a little while for the Total War stuff to go through, but it's fine because again, that series, again, I'm not doing that series anytime soon, so that's fine. I just want to get the polls and faction votes sorted out, ready to go, so we're ready to kick in and kick off a new series. I mean, I could always do a different Westeros one, I guess, but don't know. We'll see what we're doing, I guess. But there you go. So I hope you're all looking forward to new content. Schedule-wise, this is what you're expecting. Cattle Guard Dynasty Mondays. Hopefully tomorrow I'll upload it. There'll be a new Cattle Guard Dynasty episode tomorrow, which will hopefully be our dragon hunting lore hunting thing, and also we'll be hunting off for hopefully hatching our dragon egg that day on the episode as well. Tuesdays will be when the campaign goes up. Wednesdays will be Gaunt Dynasty. Thursdays will be Westeros Total War, but it won't be this week. It won't probably happen until at least possibly the week after, maybe next week or the week after. We'll see. But yeah, because that's going to take a little while. Fridays, War in the North. Saturdays, well, I'm going to take that live stream bit out, but live stream. So Saturday's going to be Battle for the Earth now, and Sundays will be Red Dead Redemption games. So I will, I'll do it while I'm here actually. I am briefly sitting here. Yeah. I don't know which Battle for the Earth yet. So I'm just put Battle for the Earth campaign. Campaign to be voted for. I guess being voted for. There you go. So if anyone wonders what the hell BVF means, it means being voted for currently. Yeah. Currently voting for? No, that's fine. We'll leave that. Anyway, that's all for now. I thank you all thoroughly for 2,000 subscribers. That is fantastic. I am very happy with that milestone, I must confess. I'll attend to these messages shortly. But, but yeah, thank you, everyone. And I will go through actually on the channel and go through and delete some of these. So while it's uploading and rendering, I'll go through and delete some of the old stuff I mentioned. But other stuff will stay on. Eventually in the future, hopefully I will replace and remake a lot of the older campaigns that I just think could be redone. But that's all for now. I thank you all for watching. Until we speak again, dear friends, I shall see you all tomorrow for our Cattle Guard Dynasty, Navaya Naden Pelamad Melanin. And farewell.